to get us in a position where we could play this game. Um, obviously we were down 4 players, an assistant coach, and we were down several managers. So on this trip, we had I think 2 managers only, and 2 that have never traveled. And so we had so many people step up on this trip. And I'm obviously really, really proud of that. Regardless of if we would have won or lost, I was going to talk about that. The doctors, the trainers, everyone that made this possible. Obviously, it's a hell of a win for us. I'm really proud of our team. The toughness, and we were resilient. I thought one of the main reasons we won is that we dominated the glass, 49-33, and we had 20 offensive rebounds. I thought the last 32 minutes of the game, I thought we really played well defensively. They're a team that was leading our league in scoring at 84 points a game. I think exactly it's 83.7, and we held them to 60. We held them to 37% for the game. And so I thought we did a really good job defensively. And then in the second half, we did a much better job of executing offensively. We had 12 assists, and at halftime it was 1 assist and 10 turnovers. And, we had 12 assists and 6 turnovers in the second half. Certainly it helped having Xavier back in there. And I thought he was terrific. I thought the other guy that was really, really good for us is Terrell Brown. And, he's been such an interesting guy this year because he's been a part of some huge wins for us and played well, but he hadn't played as much. But he's kept a great attitude. He's shown up every day, and he's worked his butt off. And I think because of that, he played so well this evening. I thought Femi was huge. These to have 14 rebounds, and then the tip in that gave us the lead, and then the way we executed down the stretch defensively on the side out of bounds, getting the turnover. So big time win for us. Really proud
Jeff,
of
I know coaches like to, simulate certain situations. The Northwestern game, you guys were down the whole time. Does winning a game like that kind of set you up to maybe win a game like this today?
It's interesting when we got to the under 4 timeout. And I think it was a 5-point game right then. And I told our team, I said, what does this remind you of? This is Northwestern all over again. And we're going to win because we've been in that situation before, and they haven't, where they've had the lead. They've had to come back, but they haven't where they've had the lead like this. And you could feel the momentum changing. And we came out of the timeout and we executed on a play that we drew up. We got Terrell a lob. And then, to come down and transition at that moment, Xavier was 2 for 13. And to have the, to pull that 3 and to tie the game, big time play by all of our guys.
Jeff, we had to talk with you some previously this season about, about almost a kind of tendency for some guys, especially on a team with the place for a freshman a decent amount of minutes to maybe panic sometimes. And this is a situation here where you're down 4 scholarship players, you're down 11 in the opening minutes, and you come back to win. I mean, what does that signal to you about where this team is from a mental and a sort of maturity standpoint right now?
I think we've gotten tougher. I think we've become tougher. I think you have to be tough. We're 3-0 on the road this year, and it's not like some teams that aren't good. I mean, it's Northwestern, Miami, and Syracuse. So to be able to come on the road and to win, there has to be a level of toughness. There's a level of maturity. We're a little bit older. That certainly helps. And then guys believe, we've tried to establish in our program that we're going to fight. Like that's, when I thought of Pittsburgh basketball before I came here, when they were really good, it was the toughness. It was the fight. It was that. And so we've tried to emulate that. We've tried to bring that back, and not just down 11. We were down 18 in the first half. And we just kept talking, like, just chip away, chip away. You know, we were in this situation up here last year where we were down. We didn't get off to a great start, and we kept chipping away, and we had a chance. We gave up an offensive rebound. It's kind of ironic that we won it with an offensive rebound this evening. So, but I do think it shows a level of toughness that we've grown. We have to continue to do that. I mean, there are no easy nights in this league, you know. And so, look, we'll see these guys again next week, next Saturday, if everything holds up. And we know that they're going to be angry and things like that. But my thing is just take care of us, control what we can control, and keep fighting.
Jeff, along the lines of what you were saying, what's the significance for you that this all started on the defensive end?
It's huge. I mean, that's what we've tried to hang our hat on since I've gotten here. And the thing we've really tried to emphasize this year is the rebounding. And we've been pretty good there. You know, knock on wood, we've been pretty good. We work at it. And I think the guys are starting to understand the importance of it. So those two areas are two areas that we want to be good at. And we feel like, I thought one of the things that helped us in the second half especially was the defense and the rebounding, because then that allowed us to get out in transition and we didn't have to play against a set zone the whole time.
Jeff, given your team's struggle with the zone in the past, I can kind of imagine, I know you're sitting in your office this summer, you know, knowing you'd have these games against Syracuse as an opportunity to do something different or show that you could kind of break that. And then the game happens on 72 hours notice. You get maybe one practice. You're missing 4 guys that you probably would have expected to have. How did all that kind of impact the way you approached this game from a X's and O's standpoint? And how did that play out as the game went on?
You know, it's interesting. We hadn't been together whole, the guys that could go, everyone, since last Monday, since the day before due. And again, we got on the bus, we were headed to the airport. We took, you know, since we didn't play Tuesday, we took that as our mandatory day off for the week because we thought we were going to play on Saturday and we were going to practice on Wednesday. And when guys started getting there, we had about 3 or 4 guys that were coughing, sneezing, runny nose, and sore throat. And so we sent those guys home. So on Wednesday, we just had 5 guys. And we were going to get back together and practice on Thursday. And that's when we had positives within the athletic department, a couple of student athletes. And with the contact tracing, that knocked us down. So Thursday, we had 3 guys. Friday, we had 3 guys. Saturday, we were able to get more, but we had to do them in 3 different groups. Sunday was our mandatory day off. So Monday was our first day where we had these 9 scholarship guys together and then our walk-ons. And so you haven't practiced in a week. I already knew the timing's going to be off. Our wind is going to be off. Normally when you come back from a day off, the practice isn't that great. I thought they had really good attitudes. We tried to knock the rust off. And then you're preparing for a zone that you've never seen. You know, our players, our new guys, these new guys haven't played against. And so it was difficult. But they had great attitudes. We worked at it. It took us a while to get used to it. But we did a good job against it. But the thing that we talked about with travel that we have to be good at is defensive rebounding. If we do those 2 things, we'll give ourselves a chance. And we did those 2 things at a high level.
Jeff, what do you know about the availability of guys who didn't play tonight on Saturday?
Don't know yet. We had the guys that are in contact tracing. If everything continues to go, they will get out January 9th, which is Saturday, which is the day we're scheduled to play. And I don't know if I would play them without practice. I seriously doubt. So they would get out the 9th. So I don't know.
Jeff, how's Justin doing, and how big is it to have him on the sideline kind of cheering everyone on?
I mean, he's getting better. It's a process. He's getting better. He's working at it. He's getting anxious, wanting to do more stuff. You know, we're hoping that he's a quick healer, but we certainly are not going to put him out there where there's any sort of risk. And we know there's a risk every time you play, but we want him to be out there when he's healthy. But it's great. You know, he was really good with the guys leading up to the game. At halftime, after I spoke to the guys when they were getting ready to come out, he actually grabbed a couple of guys, you know, grabbed the pen, went to the board. I don't know what he was writing, what he was doing, but he was talking to guys about the zone, about some things defensively. And so that's big when you have one of your better players doing that.
Jeff,
Coach, earlier in the season after the St. Francis loss, you talked about, getting off the mat, bouncing back from the adversity. What do you think it means for the program and for these players individually to bounce back after all the adversity you mentioned with the positive test, with the contact tracing, with a win like this?
Yeah, I mean, everything. I mean, we hadn't won since December 16th, and that was something we talked about. And again, that's life. I mean, I've always felt basketball can be used as a metaphor for life. Everything's not going to go right. Everything's not going to go great. Everything's not going to go the way you want it. And can you get off the mat and keep fighting? Can you learn from it? And can you try to be better? Can you not run from it? That's one of the biggest things. A lot of these young people now want to run from stuff if things get hard. And certainly they've been hard the first couple of years for a couple of guys in our program, for Terrell for 3 years. But I respect Terrell because he hasn't run from it. Xavier and Audis, they haven't run from it. They've run towards it. And so again, if we continue, if that's something that we can learn, these young people can learn, then the basketball will take care of itself. But for me, the biggest thing is these guys, once they're done playing and they become fathers and husbands and leaders in the community, you got to get off the mat, man. That's life.
Jeff, you talked about earlier season. I'm sorry if you've already said this. My sound's been cutting in and out, but you've talked about all season about responding and not panicking. And this team, you missed a bunch of shots early. You had some struggles. Xavier got into foul trouble, and you saw this team find answers. What can you say about avoiding that panic that you sensed? You went up against St. Francis and other situations this year where you guys have dealt with that.
Yeah, we've gotten better. We've matured. We've learned. I thought we actually got some good shots to start. We missed them, and then they hit 3 straight threes, and all of a sudden it's 11-0. And we've gotten good shots, but we haven't. And a couple of threes they hit were mistakes with our defense. A couple of things we didn't do, but again, they stepped up and made the plays. But again, we kept fighting. I thought we got off to a great start in the second half, and we cut it. We forced them to call a timeout, and all of a sudden they push it back. They go on a run. And it was during that time that we didn't panic again. And so again, it's about maturity, it's about growing, it's about learning, and we've taken some steps there.
Jeff, what can you say about X and 1,000 points, but just what he's meant to your team since he's gotten here?
He's meant so much. I mean, he's gotten better and better each year. I mean, he's leading our league in assists. Today to have 7 assists and 1 turnover, and the majority of those were in the second half. The assists. I just thought, we have to figure out a way to keep him in the game, where he doesn't foul. Again, in this game, they were both off the ball fouls. The first one was, the second one was a cylinder call. I mean, we need him in the game, but he's grown, he's matured, he's gotten better. He's learned the position. He's always been competitive. He's always been a fighter, but I think he's learned how to channel that in a much better way.